Hello, I'm Alistair Stevenson, and today I'm doing a head-to-head review of the Sony Xperia Z and the BlackBerry Z10. Now, both phones have some pretty interesting features, though Sony's is the newest of the two, having only just been released. However, the Z10 is the first ever BlackBerry 10 handset, meaning it has its own few quirky features. Now, the first thing you'll notice is that the two are very differently sized. The BlackBerry Z10 is the smaller of the two, measuring in at 130 by 66 by 9mm. However, despite that, it's not that much lighter than the Z10, weighing 137.5 grams. By comparison, the Z10 only weighs roughly 10 grams more, weighing 146 grams. Another key thing in terms of build you'll notice is that the Z10 looks a lot sturdier. The Z10 is actually IP57 certified, which is why it has all these clips around its ports, and is designed to be water, scratch and dust resistant. We've actually put it through its paces doing the dunk test and dropping it around a few times, and as you can see, it's survived pretty much unscathed. The Z10 by comparison, we've had a few issues with build quality. As you can see here, it has a detachable plate, which is fairly flimsy. And we've also noticed that it has a horrible tendency to occasionally detach itself when the device is met with even the slightest bump. Still, overall, it's not too bad. In terms of raw muscle, the Z10 on paper is faster, featuring a 1.5 GHz quad-core Qualcomm processor. The Z10 by comparison features a 1.5 GHz Qualcomm dual-core processor. Though, we have to say, from our initial tests, BlackBerry 10, despite having a few bugs, does seem to be a bit more optimized than Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, which runs on the Xperia Z. This means that we haven't actually noticed too many performance issues on either device, and connected to the Wi-Fi network, they matched each other during our speed tests, loading web pages and videos in the same time. Unfortunately, we didn't get to test how they compared when doing more intensive tasks, like running power-heavy games using the 3D Unity engine. That's mainly because, despite a great effort by BlackBerry to get all the core apps on, it is still far behind Jelly Bean when it comes to the number of core apps on it. Another thing that you'll notice is the difference in screen quality. Now, the Z10 has a really good screen. It features a 4.2-inch, 356 pixel per inch display, which looks great. And as you can see up close, it's very crisp, great color balance, and clear clarity. Now, the Xperia Z, by comparison, features a 5-inch, 441 pixel per inch display. However, viewed up front, we would say the Z is slightly brighter and slightly better than the BlackBerry Z10. And we're thinking this is because the custom Bravia Engine 2 technology Sony's loaded on it. Now that's the mobile technology version of the stuff Sony uses on its HD TVs, and we're really impressed with it thus far. And we would say that it goes a fair bit to making Sony's claim that the Xperia Z's screen is as good as most HD TVs. Though, we have had issues with both displays, especially when viewed in bright light. Now, as you can see here, when we rotate the screens, both don't have great viewing angles. We're not sure why this is on the Z10, but for the Xperia Z, we're thinking it's because of the scratch-resistant glass that they've put on. Now, this glass also means that when you get light shone on it, it's fairly prone to glare, meaning when you're using it outside, it can be a bit of an issue, and in bright sunlight we found it all but unusable on a few occasions. But, then again, because of its IP57 certification, you can use it in a monsoon as well, so I suppose it's a trade-off. Now, in terms of storage, both devices come with 16 gig of expandable storage, though the Xperia Z can only be upgraded to 32 gig, which could be a bit of an issue if you have a lot of videos and things, though it's still fairly reasonable. In terms of the OS offering though, we would say that Jelly Bean is still a little bit ahead of the BlackBerry Z10. This is mainly because of things like the Maps app. The BlackBerry Maps app is actually run using Bing Maps, whereas of course Android uses Google. We're not really a big fan of the BlackBerry Maps app, mainly because it's pretty dire and occasionally makes mistakes. However, it does have a few good features, like the BlackBerry Hub, and a one-stop shop for all emails, Facebook, and other messages you cut through. The Xperia Z, by example, just has a standard Facebook, Twitter, and separate email apps. Overall though, for business users, the one thing we have to say that does make the Z10 slightly better is its inbuilt security. The Z10 features all of the, if you have Z10, features full 256K encryption, which means it really is secure, and will also connect to any BlackBerry server you have in your company, which is why we'd say for enterprise users, it's good. It also has balance, which means that you can actually separate your work and personal accounts, meaning that The system's administrator can do things like wipe the corporate side and get rid of all the information without affecting your personal side, ensuring your home photos are safe. However, on a more consumery level, the Xperia Z features a much better camera, packing a 13.1-inch rear snapper, complete with Sony's custom camera sensor. This means that in terms of raw photography, we found the Xperia Z is far better than the Z10 at taking photos. The only thing that we would say is redeeming the Blackberry Z10's camera is that its 8-megapixel rear snapper has time shift, a nice little feature which actually lets you rewind through photos to find the best shot after taking it, meaning that even if you miss your shot of the initial snap, you can go backwards and actually catch it. Why we would say the Sony Xperia Z is the better of the consumer devices, we have to say BlackBerry is better for enterprise. That said, if you have the BYD policy, even with BlackBerry Balance, we would still prefer the Sony Xperia Z. I'm Alistair Stevenson, thanks for watching.